So I'm going to start with KSC, if that's all right. Here we go. KSC, as my computer chugs along. God bless whomever invented the microchip. Okay. So, what do we got going on here? We got KSC, we got an Ohio and a Shikishima. We have a diverse comp of cruisers, Des Moines, Goliath, Nevsky, Stalingrad, and 3 destroyers here on Land of Fire. 2 Darings, 1 Sommers coming in for KSC.
Nice, triple daring, triple DD, always interesting to see that. On QQ7's lineup, we have the Daring Summers, so not going with the triple DD on that one, so I'm assuming they're expecting to cede B pressure over. They do have the triple Stalingrad with the Nevsky and a Des Moines, coming out with the Shikishima and Kremlin, so I expect the Kremlin to take a nice position where it can absorb some punishment and forcibly retain a flank, while the Shikishima is probably looking for some really nice sight lines for some good long-range snipes, and Master Chief already heading off toward the AB side, avoiding the wall-off of C.
Absolutely. So obviously we got the very different strategy coming in, as we have 3 destroyers coming in from KSC. 1 going to B, 1 C, 1 A, a Daring going B, and going to be contested by the Daring of Wonder Cube. We'll see a knife fight go on there. That's not animal fighting, is it? That's not illegal yet? Daring on daring violence? Okay. The other Daring of Aussie Zeus heading out towards C. Looks like he's going to be getting back up in the form of a Goliath and a Shikishima, but that's about it. It looks to me as though KSC is committing the majority of the resources actually towards A. I think the Stalingrad of Sergeant Ross is going to take this island here and try to provide flanking fire whenever possible, but it looks like Torino's Ohio and I Am Coop's Nevsky are going to be moving out towards the A cap.
Yeah, definitely the heavy commit over to A. Down with QQ7, looks like the Wonder Cube's Daring is about ready to reverse in. The real question is, how far can that Stalin radar see from Punisher 1? He almost has full cap coverage. In fact, he may actually have it. The Daring of Quicksilver Sash pulling back his Wonder Cube, actually about to dip into the cap and start making it look like, hey, if you want to take this, you need to meet me, bro. The Des Moines Sauerkraut, he's doing it.
Yep, he's doing it.
He's moving for that top part of that island where he can start exerting extreme amounts of pressure here. So far, B has not lit up just yet. Curious how this is going to go. Stalingrad of Sergeant Ross holding that middle position. I don't know if he has quite radar over B, but he might with the 12 kilometers. And we're still seeing the Nevsky, Ohio pull wide off toward the 1 line with the Summers moving to A, only mirrored by a Stalingrad from QQ7 in the south.
Yeah, I think that,
really weak for QQ7.
Sorry about that. I think that, yeah, we're going to see KSC figure out the numerical advantage they have over here on A. They're probably going to figure that out quickly and start pushing around to try and flank the Shikishima of Master Chief, or to just try to push Classic's Stalingrad further and further south as the Sommers prepares to dip into A. Radar going out from Punisher. He probably, I can't tell if he caught, yes he did, he caught Quicksilver Slash, who decides to nope the fuck out rather than take more shots from the Stalingrad. The question will be, is Sauerkraut able to radar Wonder Cube? I don't know. Big hit on Punisher's, wow, big hit on Punisher 1. Probably, I think that was probably Borla's Shikishima with those 5 10mm guns.
Yeah, giant shells scything through the Stalingrad armor. Normally a very extremely well-armored ship. Seems like it had just enough down angle to just rip through the deck and lodge in that hull. Daring from KSC already starting the cap halfway through over at C. Looks like Aussie Zeus is able to do that, while now that the radar down, Quicksilver Slash already moving back into B, and there is the contest. With no other radar and Wonder Cube's Daring having peeled off, looks like B may also fall as well. The real question is going to be, now that QQ7 has moved the majority of their assets into place at C, only held by a Daring, a Goliath, and a Shikishima, how soon before they start moving in to make plays? Feva's already started to turn in. Strangely enough, MB Walk turning out to Kite. I guess they just don't know where the remaining assets, maybe the Nevsky and Ohio over on the 1-2 line, not being spotted just yet.
I suppose so. So it's worth noting at this point, or at least I think it's worth noting, that we're seeing sort of the washing machine setup here, where the heavier push from KSC is coming in on the A side, while on the opposite, the heavier push is coming in from QQ7. However, it's true. It is odd that the Stalingrad and the Nevsky of Feva G and MB Walk, they're not taking an aggressive position. It's possible they just don't know yet where. I guess they just don't know where KSC's resources are. So they're just not prepared to make that hard push, as the Sommers of Gibbon has smoked up to allow, gosh, the Des Moines of Payfast to take an aggressive push towards C.
Yeah, the Des Moines Kremlin pushed. No, actually, the Kremlin turning out as well. Interesting. I think what happened, Wonder Cube, QQ7's Wonder Cube trying to commit over to Bravo, not having the triple DD advantage, may actually have missed out on some crucial spotting data as he was pushed back from Bravo. With the movement of the Sauerkraut's Des Moines taking that huge center position with the giant radar pressure, they just may not have had spotting on that entire 1-4 line, causing them to be unsure of whose positions are where. Moose on the Loose already turning left, cutting around an island to head back north. Also, Feva Stalingrad pointed in the direction of, let's do this, bro. I believe the Nevsky is slowly reversing, trying to get maybe a shot on something, but as it stands, still haven't been able to lock onto anybody.
It's true. So at the moment, all three caps in control or KSC in control of all three caps, excuse me, as I think that QQ7 realizing right about now that they are committed to C and they need to take C before the Ohio and the Nevsky try to push down onto classic Stalingrad, who is now taking fire from 3 different ships. I believe even the Sommers? The Sommers might even be taking shots at him. Maybe not. But yeah, it is up to QQ7 now to decide basically how they want to try and win this. And it's going to have to be through CCAP, I think, at this point. I just don't see any way that 4 ships on the west side in the center are going to be able to handle the 5 of KSC without a miracle.
Yeah, QQ7 has absolutely found, that's where those ships are. And now QQ7 is moving to make that move. Moose on the Loose, followed by Feva and MB Walk, already pushing up hard on that 10 line. The Summers already taking C with no radar pressure and a Daring not interested in contesting. Aussie Zeus already driven off and in smoke. Looks like they're going to lock down C in very short order. That being said, A was taken. It's still 2-1 caps. And the Ohio pushing up is... Well, if Torino continues pushing, he may meet the strange side of a Shikishima looking to come over and help secure A. Wonder Cube's Daring throwing out some torps, but Classic continuing to get pummeled by this Nevsky at range.
Absolutely. So this will be interesting to see here. The Shikishima of Master Chief looking very, very strong down there in the corner. Will he get... No, the Stalingrad of Sergeant Ross not able to see the broadside of that Shikishima from there, but it will be interesting to see. Could even a shot from the Shikishima of Borla, could it make it all the way across the map? I think that's too far, 29 kilometers, unless Borla feels like being a giant Chad today. I don't think that's quite going to happen. Yeah, so very, very slow moving here, but QQ7 starting to exert a little bit of pressure over here on C. Kremlin, very powerful pusher, but the Goliath of GM Schwartz and the Daring of Aussie Zeus melting away in good order rather than face the gun barrels of those, as the Stalingrad and the Nevsky from QQ7 continue their northward journey to try and flank.
Yeah, it looks like Borla and GM Schwartz have already turned off, looking to kite. The Goliath committing to the 9 line, now actually starting to swing further away. But I was kind of wondering if he was going to try to lock himself up in that B9 position to cause some crossfire issues and basically dare them to continue moving forward. But no, he has moved his bow, and the Shikishima and Goliath are looking to retreat. Over on the A line, the Ohio and the Nevsky both turned out. Torina and IM Coop just trying to hold A as opposed to continuing the wrap, while QQ7 moving up on that 10 line. So it looks like QQ7 has traded away some points, about 300 points total all, but preferring to take the safe route and make sure that they were moving their assets in ways that they knew that they could take advantage of. Just going to take a few minutes for that Nevsky, Stalin, and Kremlin to get into positions that they can exploit, but slowly developing, and the Daring of Wonder Cube is already contesting A.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Obviously, KSC starting off with a very, very dominant position early on. Now starting to fold back. We'll see if they're able to reverse this and regain some of those caps, as they are up, like you said, about 350 points. Stalingrad of Punisher 1 still sitting there strong, preventing much change. But look at this. So the C cap, now that they're taking C, it does seem as though they are actually going to be, well, I guess moving towards B rather than push up and try to flank. Melting away in good order from the A cap. I think we're about to see a knife fight here as Drift in the summers and Torino's Ohio are getting closer and closer to the Shikishima and Stalingrad and Daring. And shots go out on that Stalingrad, but will return fire. Is he firing HE? I believe he is. Classic. Classic with the disrespect on that Ohio.
Actually, it looks like if there comes out to be a brawl at A, it may not fall out in KSC's favor. The Ohio matched up with the Shikishima, but moving closer to a Daring that may look for a YOLO play. While the Stalingrad is continually able to chuck shells into the mix, the Nevsky of IM Coop moving back to protect the middle. As he rotates to B, his guns are offline and unable to push Classic back, as now the Stalingrad and soon to be the Shikishima may be moving on the Ohio, who at this point looks to be diving for cover, preferring the cap contest as opposed to attrition by continued fire at range.
Absolutely. Torino making it to the cover of this corner here. We'll see if the Daring decides to make a hard play and come around. Very interesting that both battleships have now come up to the corner of the A island. It is now 1 cap to 1. 5 minutes, 30 seconds until KSC walks away with this on points alone. We'll see if QQ7 makes a play for B as well. Still very little trading going on. 445,000 HP for QQ7 to 414 for KSC. Everything looking about equal, though. It's very interesting here, seeing how exactly this is going to work out, whether or not KSC is going to be able to retake A.
Yeah, KSC being able to hold a significant map positions as well as retaining their health. Not necessarily a health lead, but certainly retaining their health, and Master Chief takes a torp from the Summers of Drift that is still wide, still trying to apply pressure as he can, and Torino actually using his dodge behind the island to be able to pull out. Right now, at this point with this lead, if KSC is able to not lose a ship and not lose Bravo, they will eventually point out in 4 minutes.
And to that point here, shots coming in from Borla's Shikishima, the big 5-10mm guns, working on Punisher, but more importantly, pencil torps coming in from, who is that? Is that Aussie Zeus, I believe, or maybe it was Quicksilver Slash, but at least one is going to bop the Stalingrad right on the nose. We'll see. One,
that's one, that's two, that's going to be three. That's actually, that's a kill. Ooh, that puts even more point pressure over into KSC, and QQ7 currently, a Summers on the edge of C might be looking to try to contest Bravo eventually. But once again, now that lead, the additional points off that ship kill has dropped it to 3 minutes away. B needs to be taken, or some kind of ship kill has to happen. Otherwise, this is going to be a slow bleed toward a loss.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting to see. That was a big play, KSC getting the pencil torp on the Stalingrad. We'll see now, there's still a huge amount of HP, resources, and guns from QQ7 spilling out of C now, trying to dislodge the Des Moines of Sauerkraut from B, trying to put some pressure on. But I feel like we're going to see a mistake here coming in. Stalingrad's of Sergeant Ross, USMC, if he moves up a little ways, he has excellent broadside shots on several, and down goes Febagy's Stalingrad, just maybe feeling the pressure a little bit too much and panicking. That was huge, taking down that Stalingrad, as the Nevsky is now alone facing torpedoes 16K to MB Walk over there in C.
Shikishima taking 2 more torps on the nose over at A, and IM Coop aborting his B-side rotation, coming back to A to continue to chisel at Classic Stalingrad, who is now moving up to take island cover to continue the A contest. As far as B going, QQ7 is committing, and they are committing hard. Sauerkraut is definitely being a problem, but at this point, they just don't have the options here. Gibbon crash diving into B, immediately using island cover against the radar pressure of the Des Moines. Kremlin moving up under smoke cover, interesting, but able to take firm position in the cap, baiting some resets while the Summers is actually able to take it. With this, QQ7 has claimed all 3 caps, and while there is a point deficit, KSC is not earning any points at this time. KSC's only win condition at this point to run out the clock, which is 6 minutes long, or to get a kill.
If that kill does happen, it's looking like it might be in the form of Classic's Stalingrad, who is taking chip damage right now from the Sauerkraut Des Moines. Excuse me, from the Des Moines of Sauerkraut. I'm not sure if perhaps Torino is going to die. Torino's Ohio looking to take an enormous number of torpedoes from the QQ7's Daring. Will he take any? Yes, he's taking one.
That's one, that's two, that's three. That's a fair amount of oomph. He's down to 21k, and that's a pretty big target for people to shell at long range. That being said, he has moved away, and short of maybe taking some ranged shots from a Kremlin, I think he's going to make it out unless he coasts so far forward as to take shots from Classic. No, Classic is digging right back into that island, not wanting to be the kill that seals the game.
Absolutely. Sauerkraut now trying desperately to finish off this Stalingrad. A Stalingrad kill here will actually, I believe, put them over the... Oh, now overmatching everything. The Shikishima flexes hard on that Des Moines, but it looks like the Stalingrad will go down. Down go two players from QQ7. It is now 982 to 514. KSC needs one more kill to wrap this up, and they now also have the benefit of being able to take C, as it is completely exposed after the Nevsky of QQ7 goes down. Very, very exciting stuff here. What is going to happen?
QQ7 getting some breathing room with the death of that KSC Des Moines, but then immediately followed by 2 ship kills that bring it all the way up to 982 points KSC favor. KSC has no caps at this time. However, QQ7 completely evacuating off the C cap. GM Swartz is immediately diving for it. Also, Aussie Zeus and the Daring diving for C as well. 4 minutes left to go, only a few points needed by KSC. If they take C unchallenged, those few points will tick up and they will take the game. QQ7 needs a kill. They need not only one kill, they need multiple kills to be able to regain map dominance.
Yep, if as soon as these guys take C, which looks to be within the next 60 seconds or so, they will win in... Oh my goodness, the Daring of Wonder Cube just nearly getting clapped, but coming away from it, coming away with just a little bit of health, now healing up. But yes, as soon as KSC steals C cap, it is just a matter of seconds before KSC pulls this away.
Torps. Those torps are going to hit the Ohio. The cross torp between the Daring and the long range torps from Gibbon. That's going to be one. That's two. That's a kill. That's going to give them some breathing room. That cap's coming across for KSC over at C, and anytime those points are going to start ticking up. But wow, QQ7 needed that kill, and they found it. They forced that situation, drove him into the cross torps, and were able to claw back something to give them some breathing room. Still, though, QQ7 surrounded and bleeding health badly.
Yeah, so what we may see here is we may see the Goliath of Jim Schwartz and the Daring of Aussie Zeus come around to try and clap this Des Moines, or the Somers, both of whom are very low. The Kremlin's still sitting here with 26,000 HP. Oh, as the Des Moines starts getting hit, I think it's the Goliath coming in. As the Goliath takes return fire, will the DM go down? Yes, to the Stalingrad of Sergeant Ross. That puts KSC up at 982. They win in 20 seconds, Oskans. I don't know if QQ7 can pull something incredible out of their sterns, but we'll see here shortly.
Yeah, that breathing room getting removed as one of their ships goes down, and C, again, uncontested, tick, 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 tick. Only 9 more seconds before KSC able to clutch the first game. I'm not seeing any kills. It's only 2 minutes to go. And that it is. KSC taking game 1 between KSC and QQ7. That was a hell of a nail biter.
That was a hell of a game. Congratulations to both teams. That was just absolutely very exciting to watch. Really back and forth there, although, I mean, I want to say that QQ7 looked real strong there in the middle of the... Why does it say 07 Devastating Strike is the winner? That is not correct. What in the shit? Well, that's odd. Hold on a second. Wait, there we go. KSC kill confirmed. I'm 7. Well, I can't wait in 5 minutes.